Great. Once again, we beg folks on the second part of security within computer systems. And this time around, we want to talk about 10 questions and using the information that we discussed about before, let's see how best that information can help us come up with solutions to these computer threat systems. So here we are. First problem, we are interested in two examples of accidental data source. So we were saying from our discussion earlier, sometimes we might have power cuts during saving process. Sometimes a human can mistype the data that needs to be fed into a computer system. So just two examples, we can say one can be deleting data accidentally or power failure during data saving. So these are all accidental data loss that can occur within computer systems as a human is using computer systems. Then the next problem we have there is saying is a password such as 12345 is secure password. If we do not agree, then why are we saying it's not? So this password 12345, if we look at it, this is a short password. It's a short password. And like we were saying, it does not involve a combination of even special keys. Actually, it's short, it's not long. Then what's the threat from being short? It can easily be brute force. So brute force attacks can easily crack this given password, and a hacker or a threat can easily gain access. Then the next one is saying name one biometric password and one weakness. So if we talk of biometric passwords, here we are interested in aspects such as fingerprint or iris. So let's pick fingerprint, for instance. If we pick fingerprint, then the question will be, what weakness can a fingerprint have as we are trying to secure the data? Well, this one, it can be copied, because like I was saying earlier, there are high power computers being developed nowadays, which can do some rigorous trials until the correct mesh is attained. So this can be copied by high, can have high power or high quality images. So you put your fingerprint, one can come with their high power cameras or devices, and they can read through to say, but this fingerprint, can we regenerate it? So the next one is, why do we use firewalls? And last time we were saying firewalls are more like border points where as traffic is leaving the network system, sometimes network address translation is performed so that if one is tracking the origin of that data, they will be misguided by different IP addresses. So this one, the firewall is designed to um, control or block unauthorized access. So its purpose is to block unauthorized access. Because it's more like a border point with a list of IP addresses that are allowed to get into the network or to leave the network. So if we use a firewall, we are saying it's a border point which regulates which traffic is permitted, which is not. So the next one is the purpose of socket, secure socket layer and transport layer security. What's the main reason why we need such? The bigger reason, like we said, is to encrypt data during transmission. So we don't want uh, interceptors of data to make sense of the data. So they need a key in order for them to realize the meaning of data itself. Uh, so what does HTTPS indicate? Oh, well, this simply tells us that the website uses SSL and TLS. In other words, encryption is there. So once encryption is there, it means one who's authorized to gain access or to read data can be given access. So the next one, we are interested in a conversion. It's an example of how ciphertext is built using a +2 Caesar cipher. What are we saying? From the alphabet here, we are simply saying, can we add 2 and we pick the next character? The logic here is the intended recipient, when they find the ciphertext, they do the reverse, which is -2, to make sense of the message that was originally sent. So I can read through the alphabet, say from H, I want +2, so H, I, J. So in other words, for H we have J, then there I've got E, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So it means here we have G. Then there's double L, L, M, N, M, N. So that will be N, N, O, P, Q. Then the last part will be Q. So this is the ciphertext that will be generated when we use ciphertext to, encrypt our data. So the next problem they're saying, why does increasing encryption key length improve security? So when we increase the key length, it means there are more different key combinations, imply more different key combinations, making brute force difficult or impossible. So you increase your key length, then it means one without the correct key has to try various combinations in order for them to come up with the correct one. So next problem, we are required to describe a denial of service attack in one sentence. So when we say denial of service attack, this is when one gains unauthorized access to data. And what they do, they can either alter the sense of data with network traffic or the server with large volumes of traffic, so that when users try to gain access, sometimes it takes long, or if it doesn't take long, actually the page to be accessed can crash on its own. So here we are saying attackers overload their network or server with traffic and slow the system. So that's denial of service attack. There is high volumes of traffic going to the server such that people struggle to gain access to the required server. Then how can users avoid phishing? So with phishing, here you are given some spam mails which are, uh, luring you to try and open. Because the moment you click, they then redirect you to a wrong website, or they give you questions to provide sensitive information. So the best way is not to click suspicious links or websites, because these are likely to direct you to wrong sites. Oh, you need to verify sender identity. Verify sender identity. Is the source of this traffic or data uh, authentic? If not authentic or suspicious, then don't attempt to click because they might end up directing you to areas where your credentials might be lost. I think that's it from security against what we discussed about in the first section, where we are saying very, very important for one to secure their data. Different means of securing. We might need to, regularly update our passwords, maybe use longer passwords, which are very difficult to brute force. We also need to engage the use of a firewall to control traffic that's permitted to get into the network system or leave it. Um, yeah, it's basically all that we might meet under security, as well as the methods of safeguarding our data against those threats. Thank you.